In this episode, you're going to hear a screaming goat. We're going to see a finished object and rescuing some manatees. Come on, let's do this. Good afternoon. My name is Karen and you're watching Recreational Knitting. I'm coming to you from beautiful Estero, Florida, Koreshan State Historic Site and State Park. Those of you that don't know my story, that haven't been here yet, welcome. We've been on the road for 40 months, something like that, traveling in our RV, and we have been in all 48 states, and we are now back in Florida looking for a home. So welcome if you're new, and if you're an OG, thank you so much for keep coming back. I do appreciate all the love and support. Thanks again to those who support me through Ko-Fi. I do appreciate it. And all I ask is that you leave a comment. What you think? What can I improve on? Because I know there's a ton of stuff. Just be kind with it. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a couple administrative kinds of things before we get going with knitting. That's what you're here for. Penny Gilbert, you've won a prize a couple episodes back. I'll give her until the next podcast, and then I'll pick someone new. We talked about doing some July socks with the pattern that when I got it was free. Now it costs $2 something. We're going to put that on hold probably until September. I'm trying to look at a new pattern by one of our viewers, and I want to make sure that that I've knitted it first, and that's what I plan to do. I may make a tutorial using the old pattern that I initially wanted to use. So that's fluid yet, okay? Remember, we still have that discount through July at Barley, Hops, and Yarn. It's 15% off. Make sure you give her a look on Etsy. And I'm gonna put the code here. It's RKP 2020. No, RKP 15. I have yet to pick a couple of winners. I know I'm late. I'll get there. Yeah, I owe 2 people, but I haven't picked those yet. It's just been one of those couple of weeks, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. I am going to plan a cast-on party. It probably will be in August. And I'll probably do it on Zoom, and the room will be open for approximately 6 hours, and we'll just go in and out of the Zoom cast-on party. You can cast on as many things as you'd like. You can use your own rules, whether that's I'm going to cast something on and knit on it for 30 minutes, I'm going to cast something on and knit on it the entire day. Whatever your rules are, I have no rules except that you kind to each other and have fun. Those are my rules. Okay? All right. I'll just keep you up to speed about a little bit of drama that happened here this week. And then at the end, I'll leave you with some pictures of that drama, for lack of a better word. This week, we had a manatee release at the state park. This doesn't happen very often. This is a manatee and her calf that were injured in a boat accident and was in critical condition for 2 months. She was rescued by the Department of Wildlife here, as well as one of the other agencies in the state of Florida that deals with rescuing fish and rehabilitation, and I forget the name of that organization. SeaWorld was called in from Orlando, Florida, where Mickey Mouse lives, and they were involved in the transportation back to their site with their vets, and she was in captivity, rehabbing for over a year. So she was released this year, and there will be pictures of that. During that release, I had a bit of a sunstroke. We were waiting for SeaWorld to come from Orlando, which is about a 2.5-hour drive, and they got caught in some traffic, and I was sitting, resting, so I thought, but the sun was in and out like it is here now. It, a little bit of sun, then it would go, the sun would move. I was out there for, at least an hour sitting in the sun. And then when all was said and done with the rescue and moving the animals back into the Estero River, I went to get my bike, and it was parked next to the canoes. Great. But there were a lot of people milling around, and of course I couldn't ride it at that point, so I had to push it, and did not want to put on the throttle. The night before, we'd had a huge rainstorm that gullied the area down on the boat ramp, and that's where I was pushing my bike up. And I got up to the top of the boat ramp, and I got on my bike. I was safe. Everybody, I was trying to stay away from, the real people, SeaWorld, and boom, got off my bike and slid down to the ground. And fortunately, the park manager came along with his air-conditioned truck and said, "Are you okay?" And I think I mumbled something. He said that I said, "I don't think so." And he got me into his truck, don't know how, air-conditioned, blowing on me, ice packs on my back, gave me something to drink, and I had been drinking water, and within about a minute I was pretty much okay, but it was that dizzy that. So those of you who are out in the sun for any length of the time in this heat that we are having, and it's only going to get worse, please wear a hat, keep hydrated, stay out of the sun, and if you can, Gatorade, popsicles, whatever, stay hydrated. But watch your own body systems. It was highly embarrassing. At least they didn't call the EMTs. And I got home. My bike got home somehow. Don't know. I think one of the other volunteers brought it home. But yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, embarrassing. Those who helped me select my next sock color cast on, green one, and that's pretty appropriate. Green is really one of my favorite colors, blue being the other one, but this, look how well that goes in with the foliage back here. Yeah, so I will be knitting this with the new pattern from one of our viewers who has offered us to do this as a knit along. So I want to do these first in this, and I'll be casting those on this week. That's my hope. Let's see how that goes. So now on to knitting. Yes, I have a finished object, and here it is. It is another Ankor summer shirt. None of you should be surprised. Petite Knit needs to sponsor my podcast. What do you think? I think so. Should I put her as a hashtag? Ha! Yeah, this is now my 5th one that I finished. I had told you about it for one of the last podcasts that I had already finished it, but yeah, so it's navy blue, made out of a Berroco Remix Light, and I love it. It fits very well. I think I went down to a 2X on this one, so it's less floppy, which is probably a good thing. So, yay for me. Finished objects. Yeah, that's my screaming goat. So, on to works in progress. So what do? I finish an Ankor summer shirt. And here's another one. I think I showed this the last podcast. That really wasn't a full podcast, but it was about my new cast on. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that. That's where I was last time. So I've done another 10-inch plus, 10-inch, not 10-inch, 10 row plus probably 18 rows. So yeah, so that's cool. That will be a very neutral gray. I have some hot pink capris. I'm thinking, yeah, pretty cool. So far I've used probably half of the one. So, and it usually takes 2 and a little bit more of the third one of the remix for a size 2X or 3X, whichever ones I've made. I think I started out with the 3X and then put this one on needles at the 2X size. So yeah, so that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is, this is a fun knit. I'm really liking this. I'm liking the yarn, I'm liking the color, it makes me happy. This is my joyous knit for this week. This is called the Perfect T-shirt. I like it. It's got like a little scoop neck. And this is by Caitlin Barthold. Let's see if I can show you this. You know how it is to show. This is the back. And this is the front. And I'm really in at the beginning of a row, believe it or not. That rarely happens. And I showed you on the cast on party that I had, that's where I was there. And so I've knit about maybe 8 rows, something like that. Not a lot, but I have knit on that. This is what I have left of my first ball. This is, oh, I'm gonna get it wrong, Stylecraft Naturals Bamboo and Cotton. It's a little bit slippery on these needles, but I think I'm knitting a little faster. This is what the ball size is for a 100-gram ball, and this is where I'm at. So I, probably got about 40 grams here, something like that. So, and I have 5 of these. I'll have plenty. Never know how things are going to, when you're looking at a new yarn. But I really like this. Those of you in England, the UK, I know you order from Wool Warehouse a lot. That's where I got this. And this is great yarn. I imagine you don't have a lot of time to wear summer knits, especially if you're in the North UK. But if it ever goes on sale and you see it, let me know, because I'm in on it. All right, that's the second one. The third whip is I'm going to show you my Ranger socks. Those of you that have been with me know that I take a bag of knitting up to the ranger station when I work on the weekends, which are very busy in the summer, as you can well imagine. Even though it's the off season, it's really quite busy. We rent out kayaks and canoes. So this is where I was the last time I showed you, and this is where one rainy Sunday will get you. It's the only day that I ever knit. Once all the actual chores were done, mopping was complete, we just sat there and chatted and I knit. This is made with Knit Spin Farm Tarhi sport weight. It's her colorway conifer, and it was part of her sock club earlier in this year. I have the second one done, except no heel. So I have where the heels are going to go. Just haven't gotten there at that point. This is all I have left. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. It's my Ranger Station sock. It's just a plain vanilla sock, and I'll do an afterthought heel. I do like the weight of the sock yarn. It is probably for those of you that live in really cold climates, this would be a wonderful base to use. I'll probably use them as socks, just to wear around the house. These might be a gift for my son-in-law who hates wool socks. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, another work in progress is the mindfulness shawl. If you watch Ruth Loves to Knit, you know she makes one of these a week, not quite, but she's made a lot of these. This is the pattern, and it's an asymmetrical triangle, and I don't know whether you can see the little nubs, picots, balls, and I have just started on this. This is one of my, it is my car knit, but I think I'm going to bring it in because I have to pay attention to the little nubs. So I'll show you what I've started, and boy, does it, I've just started it. I didn't realize I'd only had that many done. But here are a couple little bind off nubs. So, and a really reasonably small scarf, that you could just wear with any color at all. So, this is made out of full moon fibers. They're sock weight. It's 75/25, and the colorway is all the feels. I had won a gift certificate, so this is what I chose. I'll be glad to get that one off the needles. Not that I will be wearing it at 100 degrees, but I'll just be glad to get it off the needles and have another project out of the way. I feel like I'm very overwhelmed with new casts on and, the usual. New acquisitions. I only have 2. The first one is from Simply Socks Yarn Company out of Fort Wayne. I have loved her since the day that I first bought yarn from her. She started out only, I think, just only sock yarn, only fingering weight. And so over the years, I've gotten several little bags here and there, and sock yarn, different things. I've gotten some DK weight. She added DK weight a few years back. And this here, this is in one of my madness years. I don't know what it was, but she had a club of 3 different dyers who we're going to use. Oh, let me see if I need my cheat sheet. It's the 31st Simply Socks Yarn Company Yarn Club. They're featuring 3 U.S. dye studios using 3 different yarn bases and creating 3 limited edition colorways. And this month, it's from Emma's Yarn, and it has a mini. And this was the inspiration for the colorways. How beautiful. I can't wait to see this yarn. We have some kayakers over here. It comes beautifully wrapped. You've never ordered from her and wondered, is this a nice deal? Oh my gosh. Wait till you see this. This is beautiful. I love Emma's Yarn on my worst day or best day. How does one say that? Do not tell my husband I have this, but look at those colors. And she put in a mini with mohair. And the idea being that you use this alongside with the sock yarn for toes, heels. So I don't know, I've never used mohair. It's always been scratchy, but this is very soft. And this is her colorway. Again, it's limited, but it's Moroccan Summer. Can you see that? There's blues and yellows and purples and some pinks. And then look at this. This is a beautiful fuchsia. Look at that. Beautiful. So that's my first acquisition. I have not purchased any more yarn since I got scolded. But I went back to that thrift shop and I found another book. I don't know whether they see me coming. I don't know. But this was like $4 and I know it wasn't. This is by Alana Dakos of Never Not Knitting and Hannah Fettig of Knitbot. The coastal knits got me. I'm an East Coast girl. And look at the pullover. Now that has negative ease, and I don't care for that. So that would be something that I would make differently. But check out this hat. Is that elegant? Yeah, so for $4, and this is actually the one that got me, the Wildflower cardigan. I do want to make a cardigan, and I don't need a big bulky cardigan for Florida. So this might be where I start. I don't know. Those are my purchases. So, I will leave you today with some footage of releasing the beautiful manatee and her calf. Those of you that have never seen a manatee, they're like big, ugly slug, walrusy, elephantly. They're not very pretty, but they're beautiful creatures. So I hope you enjoy what footage I've put in, and know that there are a lot of wonderful people who take care of nature for us, and we don't appreciate it. So hopefully this week you'll find a bit of nature to incorporate in your knitting. Whether you're inside and you find a bright yellow yarn that reminds you of a beautiful spring daffodil, or if you actually take your knitting out in nature and enjoy a beautiful sight such as I have behind me. And on that note, I'll see you again. Knit in peace. Thanks for watching.
So we'll do, make sure you listen to me. I'll have folks come in that are available to help when it's time. So when you're getting into a confined space to get them out, we'll just have a few folks that have done this before. We'll get them out. Ideally, we'll get them on foam pads, side by side. We have to do photos for photo identification for future research. And then the plan would be to walk them in together into the water. If they are not cooperative, too stressed out, anything else that the SeaWorld staff, the animal health care team, if they're like, just get them in the water, we won't even stop. We're just going to go straight in. So we like to make sure everybody can see this and have a great experience, but if the animals are too stressed, we won't slow down at all for any photos or anything. Please do not come into the ramp unless I ask you to come in for help. Also, please be quiet. These are wild animals. They're not used to loud noises. So, in addition, moms communicate with calves by squeaking. So if she's freaking out and she can't hear that calf, she could get really, really upset. She's close to 1,200 pounds. So, again, we'll try to be quiet, calm, and give them space until they're ready for release. Anybody have any questions? They were rescued May of last year, so they've been in rehab for a very long time. Mom had a watercraft injury and internal injuries. Her calf was nursing at the time, so we take them both in. It was a dependent calf. Male calf, female adults, and so we'll release them back out. Very close to where we rescued them was upstream, not too far from here. So, anybody have any questions before we get to pulling animals out? The last thing is what you're going to see here today. You see our captain with law enforcement. FWC law enforcement in this area act as our first responders. So he was actually there and helped participate in the rescue. So we have invited him back. Again, this is a successful day. We all work together as a team for this successful rescue, rehab, and then now this release. Animal care staff. Like I said, if Dr. Berroco and her team feel like the animals should go directly in the water, that's what we're going to do. If we try to get them side by side and do NID, but so you communicate with them.
So Brody, the little one, was sedated before we put him in the truck. So
Okay.
I'm going to see if we're able to get a little bit of flumazenil on board. He may not.
Good, that just gives us a little more play. So she's going to be rolling up against this wall so we can put the stretcher up on her. We'll push. You guys will. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm going to back up here.
So help us push it. 1, 2, 3. Good job.
Lift that tail, Grace, lift that into that tail. There you go. Line the stretcher under, there you go. Keep going, keep going. Okay,
Okay, that must be it. Now we're just going to
good. We're going to angle the tail this way more.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job. We're going to do a more extreme angle
This way.
this time, okay? You can get her head. She's almost
Should I get down? Or?
Yeah, if you want to get down.
Okay, remember, just like Denise was saying, you're going to lift up your legs. We're going to do a lot of sliding, okay?
You come over here, once you can reach it, it's poopy. Once you can reach that one, we'll help slide to me.
It's very
Everybody ready?
slick back here. Just be very
Okay, we're
careful
going to
when
slide
you
on
stop.
3. 1, 2, 3. Great job. This time, remember, we're going to start angling the paddle.
This
Your
way.
foot is passenger. Okay, we're going to scoot back a
Now
little
you
bit
guys
and then
can come
rotate our head
in.
around so
You're
her
gonna-
head is facing the water.
Ready? Back.
Hold on, we're going to
Get
lift
back
up,
in
back
more.
in. You can go in, sure.
If you can find a handle. Okay.
Okay, Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, backwards. That's perfect. And now we're just going to rotate the head around. Ready? Rotating head. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Katie, I'm going to head grab that.
Didn't mean to grab your strap there.
Try to grab under the pole, park staff. Under the pole here. In that hole. Yep, you're just going to have to do your best.
Still rotating. 1, 2, 3. Good job, everybody. You're doing great. We're going to start inching her forward now. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Watch your footing on the foam.
You're good.
1, 2, 3. One more time, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Good?
Okay, we can put poles down. If she's being calm, we're going to try to keep as many hands off as we can.
Go ahead, Molly, with photo ID. That core team, if you want to help with roti. We're okay here.
So if we need to, we can bump her head just a little.
Actually, Mom's not drugged at all.
Oh, she's not.
No. I'm sure she's tired. Or just relaxed. So we'll turning.
Let go, Joe.
Hi, Rhodey.